Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Why are some people experiencing a big delay trying to get vaccinated for COVID-19? Well, I'm taking you inside the story and revealing why some county executives are pointing the blame at the state.
Okay, Hank, in just 2 days from the presidential inauguration, Washington prepares for a ceremony like none we've ever seen.
But first, the tragic breaking news on Detroit's west side we're following, where 2 people have died in a house fire. Topping our news at 5, we're told the victims of that fire are both senior citizens.
It happened on Tracy Street, just south of 8 Mile near Schaefer. That's where we find Victor Williams with the latest. Victor?
Yes, guys, this is just a very heartbreaking story, but this scene right over here is still blocked off as investigators try to get to the bottom of what started the fire. We're told by neighbors that they heard a very loud boom, and then from there all the neighbors just came outside, even some of them trying to race inside to help the couple that was inside, and unfortunately they did not make it.
Oh my God, that done blew up.
Tonight, an elderly couple is dead following a house fire on Tracy Street.
It was a loud boom. It sounded like people were shooting, like you didn't know what it was at first.
Jordan Williams caught the dramatic cell phone footage of firefighters trying to save the disabled man and woman inside.
We come outside, we see the flames go up, and then all of a sudden the ambulance came. Like, they came quick. I was surprised.
Even though first responders made it to the home less than 5 minutes from when they received the call, the couple did not make it.
The guys tried, but there was nothing we could do. They were already dead even before we technically arrived.
As far as what led to the fire, investigators are still trying to figure that out. We know someone in the home was on oxygen, although it's not believed to have been what initially sparked the flames.
There was 2 oxygen tanks that wasn't apparently exploded as well, so that made it worse.
And now the cleanup must begin as the neighborhood tries to process one unfortunate afternoon.
We see the flames go up, all the smoke, like the smoke went all the way through over there. It was crazy.
And we'll keep everyone updated once investigators figure out what indeed led to the flames breaking out. On the west side, Victor Williams, Local 4.
That's awful. Okay, Victor, thank you.
Today, the nation's capital hosting a dress rehearsal for Wednesday's inauguration, but under an extraordinary security bubble. We're also learning more about how President Trump might spend his final hours in office, as well as President-elect Joe Biden's agenda for his first 10 days in office. Alice Barr with the latest tonight from Washington. Alice?
Good evening. As he prepares to move into the White House this week, President-elect Biden is looking ahead to his legislative agenda, while President Trump is planning his exit under the cloud of a looming second impeachment trial. Final preparations are underway for an inauguration day like no other. The time-honored traditions of the peaceful transfer of power moving forward against the backdrop of an extraordinary level of security.
We're not taking any chances. This is 3 times the number of guardsmen we would normally have in support of the United States Secret Service.
Another major difference: for the first time in more than 150 years, the outgoing president will not attend. President Trump now planning to leave Washington with a send-off ceremony on inauguration morning, landing in Florida aboard Air Force One before President-elect Joe Biden takes the oath of office. Moving trucks already seen arriving at Mar-a-Lago, the president's post-White House home. President Trump remaining out of sight again today, reportedly strategizing his defense for a second impeachment trial and weighing pardons, including potentially for himself, his family members, and top advisors. Meanwhile, President-elect Biden spending this Martin Luther King Day of service loading food boxes in Philadelphia while looking ahead to his top priorities. Biden promising a series of executive actions and proposing a nearly $2 trillion emergency COVID relief package. The incoming administration hoping Congress will place the new president's urgent agenda on a parallel fast track with the impeachment of the former president. President-elect Biden's inaugural address is set to focus on a message of unity and healing in a time of crisis. From the White House, Alice Barr, Local 4.
Hey, Alice. Well, it just keeps snowing, but just a little bit.
Just a little. No real accumulation happening here, but the flakes persist, Ben.
Yeah, just our luck, guys. It seems like right during the commute, these snow showers getting just a little bit heavier especially out in our west zone. Let's go to Storm Tracker 4. You can see out there in parts of Livingston, Washtenaw counties, colors getting a little bit darker, especially there around 96. We've got another push coming in right there towards Chelsea on the north side of 94. And it looks like these are going to continue at least to the later parts of the evening hours. Current temperatures, boy, they've been right around that freezing mark and probably won't change all that much as we head towards the midnight hour. Do think that these snow showers should wrap up before 12 o'clock. We will be dry overnight, but we've got multiple chances of snow in the forecast. We'll look at that and some actual warmer temperatures than what we've been used to seeing. That's all coming in a few minutes, guys.
Hey, Ben, thank you. Moving now to the coronavirus. We start with Michigan's latest numbers. The state reports 2,843 new cases over the past 2 days. It also reports 20 more people have died from the virus. And some breaking vaccine news. We've just learned Wayne County Public Health will transition from Pfizer's vaccine to Moderna's vaccine moving forward. People who've already gotten the Pfizer shot will still get a second Pfizer shot, but new first dose recipients will get the Moderna version. The county is blaming a depleted allotment of Pfizer doses from the state. Meanwhile, tonight, frustration is growing as seniors trying to get vaccinated are finding out the wait may take longer than expected. Consumer investigator Hank Winchester joins us. Hank, you spoke with local county health executives who really have concerns here.
Kimberly, they certainly do. They're putting the warning out because here's the bottom line. There may not be enough of the vaccine to go around, and some county leaders are right now putting the blame on the state. The vaccine rollout hasn't been as smooth as some would have hoped. Macomb County Executive Mark Hackel is putting some of the blame on the state health department. Concerned, he says, that the focus is now shifted away from our seniors.
Everybody was prepared for, 65 and older after we got done with our healthcare workers. But for some reason, it wasn't just 65 and older like the CDC guidelines recommend and the data suggest.
The health department recently making some changes, expanding the number of people who can get vaccinated, including other essential workers. Hackel believes that move is not a good one.
You got now seniors competing with people, and it's almost like kind of a self-preservation. You would think some people would say, you know what, maybe we should step aside and let the 65 years of age and older go first, but that's not happening. So we got people from all different walks of life now wanting this vaccine in very limited supply, and our seniors are fighting to try to figure out how do they get scheduled appointments.
There have been some issues, not only here in Michigan, but the rollout has caused confusion and concern for many.
I don't know exactly how we stumbled, but we stumbled. But moving forward, we have to do a better job. Our people are depending on it. Our economy depends on it.
Right now, the best advice is still connecting with your local health department, your own doctor, and your local hospital. Make sure that you're registered in the patient portals and check your email often. Unfortunately, the reality is this process is taking longer than many had hoped, and more delays could be coming. Back out here live, I did put a call into the state health department. I received this statement that I want to share with you. It's a very lengthy statement. This is just part of it. They say that they are rolling out the vaccine and allocation with CDC phases. And the quote here that we pulled is, the strategy is efficient, effective, and equitable, focusing on making vaccine available to those who have the highest level of risk, whether it is because of where they work or because of their age. Again, it is a very long and detailed statement from the state. So what we've done is we put it in its complete form on our website, clickondetroit.com. We're live here. Hank Winchester, help me, Hank.
So frustrating. Okay, Hank, thanks. Well, around the country, people are paying tribute to the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. on this, the day we honor his legacy each year.
In Southfield, the celebrations included a COVID-safe parade, and Nick Monticelli was there.
Good evening. Today's celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. here in Southfield was uplifting and interesting for two reasons. The first, of course, they're here to celebrate what he accomplished for civil rights. The second, to hopefully apply what he has said to today.
I want people to think about peace. I want people to think about how can we come together as a community and as the United States. I want people to think about what can you do as an individual to make it better in our world today.
If you asked anyone at Southfield's Justice Now Martin Luther King Jr. Peace Walk, they'd say despite COVID, this car parade had to happen.
We are all protected, we're social distanced, but It is important for our young people to understand the significance of what happened 50 years ago and why.
Lifting up each other. It doesn't matter what color, what race, and what creed. We're all in this together.
Loving each other, something this country certainly could use right now. Nearly 200 cars lined up at Hope United Methodist Church. The parade would go through neighborhoods and eventually park at City Hall, where Dr. King's message and legacy would be celebrated, especially today.
We've gotten very polarized right now, and you know, we could use a figure like Dr. King, somebody who could speak beyond our divisions and our differences and speak to the common nature of all of us. He had a unique ability to do that.
Almost 50 years ago, Dr. Martin Luther King, he was on the forefront of making changes that we need today. He was talking about eradicating poverty, getting rid of the disparities in our education system. And he always said that you have to look at bringing people together, In
Southfield, Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
And we've got much more on MLK Day ahead here at 5. But speaking of bringing people together, yesterday's NFL playoff action appears to have put the Lions on the verge of hiring a new coach. Let's get to Bernie with the latest. Bernie.
Devin, first bit of business is the Lions are going to introduce Brad Holmes tomorrow, their new general manager, 4 o'clock press conference. Dan Campbell not available until Wednesday. He's going to be their new head football coach. We've got highlights. Campbell is going to be the Lions head coach, according to the NFL Network, but it won't be official until then because he wants to stay in New Orleans and do exit interviews with those Saints players that he coached. Pretty cool, huh? But between those interviews, he's finalizing his deal today to become the Lions head coach, and we are told, and many sources are saying, that should be no problem. So be ready for Dan Campbell on Wednesday and Brad Holmes tomorrow, and we're back later with much more in sports. See you then.
Okay, we'll see you then, Bertie. Thank you. Well, we learned over the weekend that COVID strain from the UK has made its way to Michigan. But what does that actually mean? Dr. Frank McGeorge with what you need to know coming up ahead at 5:30.
Also, there's new information emerging about a man who apparently has spent months living inside one of America's largest airports. Grant?
After the insurrection at the U.S. Capitol and heavily guarded capitals across the country this past weekend, one Michigan member of Congress is saying the new face of terrorism that we should be focusing on is homegrown. Coming up, what she was saying over the weekend.